Okay, I hope you all are fine. Assalamu alaikum. Now we will start our lecture. That lecture is about the review session, and we will set the criteria how we can review our information system and what are the benefits of reviewing an information system. So that is session number 3, in which we are reviewing the performance of information system. Now, in first topic, we will identify the benefits of reviewing the information system, and in the next topic, we will choose a criteria, and we will uh, choose how we can review an information system by using that criteria. Before going into the detail, first of all, we have to know that how we can review the information system, what is meant by review, and how we can review the information system. Then we will learn about the benefits of reviewing an information system. Now, what is performance review? What is meant by performance? We have to judge that either we are working well or not. That is our performance. Our performance is good or bad. We are setting different criteria. 40% performance, 50% performance, or verbally we are saying that good performance, bad performance. So when we are reviewing the performance of our system, either we are on the right track or we are on the wrong track. In that phenomena, we will discuss or we will observe what are our plus points, what are our negative points. So we have to set the goal for the future according to our weakness or according to our strength. So we can say that performance review means we are formally assessing our performance. Like we are not verbally only assuming our system is good or our system is bad. We are formally setting different forms or different criteria. Things are standards, and according to that standards we are checking the performance of our system, and then we are giving the feedback. By that feedback we are identifying the strength and weakness. We are giving different types of feedbacks, and according to that feedback we will set the goal for the future performance. Like if on the current position our performance is 50%, our future goal will be that we have to improve our performance 10% or 20%. In the future, we can say that our performance will be 70% or up to 75%. So we have to set a criteria or set a goal according to our strength or according to our weakness. So we have to improve the weakness. So a review of the team members' productivity, like whenever we are giving what are our weaknesses or what are our weak areas or what is the strength of our system. So we can judge that how much productive are our team members and what are their skills. Either we have assigned the responsibility to our members according to their skills or their responsibilities varies from their skills, and either they are doing their work efficiently or facing some problems, and according to their productivity we can set different type of solutions. Like if one is not performing well, we can send him or her towards the training sessions, or we can guide them how they can improve their performance. So that review is conducted by the manager of that organization. It will review the performance and productivity of the members. As we know, the performance of members directly correspond to the performance of our whole organization. So performance reviews are also called the performance evaluation. So we can say that we are evaluating the performance of our team as well as our organization. In the past or in previous timing, like we was doing the paperwork, or we have no advanced technology, so we was conducting these reviews annually or after 2 years, 3 years, can depend on the resources or can depend on the time. But nowadays, that review can be on monthly basis, can be on quarterly basis. So that is depend on the organization or the project on which we are working. So that can be a requirement of a project. We have to do the weekly review performance review. We have to do that. So that depends on the organization as well as on the project on which we are working. So in previous time, that review was after 1 year or 2 year or on annually basis, but nowadays we can conduct that review after a week, after a month, or after 2 3 months. So that depends on the team as well as on the manager. Now, what is the role of performance review? Which things we will analyze in during the performance review? Performance review can help the team workers to understand why they are doing well, how they can improve, how their work aligns with the goal, and what is expected from them. So when we are observing our team, we have to give the feedback to our team, and then we have to discuss their performance with them. And in that discussion, the manager will tell them what they are doing at the best level. What are their plus points? Mostly, the manager, that is a good way to start our discussion from the positive points. And after that, the manager will discuss how they can improve the performance in which areas they are weak, and then they will tell them how they can update their skills related to the goals of the organization, or according to the project on which they are working. So the manager will tell them what is the demand of organization from them. So manager who use the performance review effectively can more easily recognize the issues before they become more challenging, communicate with the customer to better know about the expectations, encourage growth and development of the information system, and foster team work in engagement. After 1 week or 1 month, the manager is giving the feedback towards the collecting the feedback from the customers and guiding his team according to that feedback. Either they are going towards the goal, or they are going far away from the goal. So according to that, he or she can guide their team according to the reviews of the customer, either the customer is satisfied or not. And after making the improvements, the manager can communicate with the customer and tell them we have made the changes, and now they can, or we can serve you in a better way. So before going towards the loss, or before going towards the failure, we can make changes according to the feedback of the customer, and we can arrange the training sessions or something that can improve the performance of our organization as well as our team. So by doing this, we can make sure that the teamwork environment that leads our information system towards the success. We will overcome all the weakness of our organization, and by overcoming these weakness are the that negative areas, we can improve the performance, and by improving our performance, we can lead our information system towards the success. We can avoid the failure. Now, before going towards the review, what should be our objective? The main objective of reviewing the performance of information system is that we have to improve the company's performance. Like we can say that if the performance level of our company is 50%, we our main objective should be that we have to do something, or we have to take the measurements according to that we can improve the our performance, and we can lead the performance of our company towards the 75%, 80%, or up to 90%. So we will list down all the steps or all the amendments, all the improvements according to our criteria that we have set according to the improvement of our performance in the future. Other objectives include providing the feedback, improving communication, understanding training needs, clarifying the roles and responsibilities, and how they will help us to achieve our goal. When we have list down what is the negative areas and what we can do to improve these negative areas. Now we have to provide that feedback to our teams, and we have to commit to our customer that we will provide the best services or more improved services in the future. So we will communicate with our team as well as with our customer. So we have to make the communication easy, and we have to give a better platform for the customer as well as for the team members. And if the team is facing any problem, we have to arrange the training sessions for our teams, and we have to assign the responsibilities to each member according to their skills, and we have to clarify what is the responsibility of his or her towards the organization, and by doing work as a team, how we can achieve our goal. So we have to, if we are changing the machines or we are using the new machines, so we have to be aware that how the machines can work or how we are going to program that machine, and we have to tell that all these criteria towards our team members. We have to practice in conducting each of the components of an effective review interaction. So we have to practice all and everything that we have mentioned in our feedback, specify pointers and practice with the performance problems. When we have judged what are the issues, what are the problems, so we have to do the practice how we can resolve these problems, and opportunity to plan how to transfer the training program skills. So either the inner staff or some inside the organization can give that training, or we have to hire someone from the outer side of the company. So we have to schedule the training session, and then we have to manage all these training for our team members. Now, what is the role of manager in review or in evaluation of the performance of our system, information system? The main role of the manager have a main role inside the evaluation or inside the monitoring of our system. So manager must behave like a leader. He or she must compare our performance to the previous performance, and we have to monitor either we have improved from the past or not. So manager must be aware of specific expectations for the system, monitor results, compare the results to the expectations, and measure the match between them. Like I have told you that we have decided to improve our performance from 50% to 75%. That is our expectations. Now we have to measure the actual performance of our system. Either that is much less than the 70%, or that is near to the 70%, like that is 72%, 73%. So we have to measure our actual performance with the expected performance of our system. That is the role of a manager, to match the expected performance and the actual performance. In most cases, a manager should also provide the feedback to the members, a process that can identify the strength and weakness of the information system. So it is the responsibility of manager to identify what are our weak areas and what are our plus points. In simple words, as I told you, manager will plays a role of a leader and guide team during the performance review of information system. Like if one person is not doing his or her work in a better or in a good way, it is the responsibility of manager to encourage him or her, or to give the training to that person, give the guidance to that person, so he or she can improve the performance. Performance evaluation are extremely important to an organization. Although they may be difficult to conduct, they tell organization whether their methods are right or not, or either they are there are much of the problems all the person are facing. So we have to check these things. Now, what is the structure of performance review? Like how we can conduct the performance. We have to use a tool that helps you to keep track of goals and progress over the time. Like we are going up or down. So we have to set a graph or any tool in which we can draw a graph of our performance. Do research and get a full picture of your team workers and system. We are not only reviewing the current situation of the system. We will review, if we are conducting the performance review after 3 months, we have to observe the performance, previous performance or previous review, and then we have to start searching the work performance of our team from the current date where we have left the past performance review. So we have to do the research and we have to see the full picture. What is the reason why any person is not doing his or her work well? Either we have given him or her so much burden, or we have assigned the responsibility that does not match with the skills of that person. So we have to see the full picture. We are not only seeing the negative points, we are also checking what is the reason behind that negative points. Get in the mindset of conversation rather than the confrontation or the evaluation. We have to guide them. We have to go towards the discussion and we go towards the conversation Not only we are giving the feedback or only we are pointing the negative point of that person. We have to discuss each and everything to our team. What is the journal framework? Review organizational goal and result linked to factors of the quality, quantity, and the time. We have to match the goal, and then we have to check either we are doing a quality work, either we have done, like we have decided that we have to make the 100 products, either we have completed the quantity, and either we have done over time within our work within the time or not. So we have to check the quality as well as the quantity and the time according to our goals. Now we have to specify the result that are required, like what is the quality, what is the quantity, and what is the time. Which quality, how much items will be built in how much time. So we have to ensure that the team works result directly contribute to the system's goal. No person is working individually, all persons are working as a team, and that will working towards the goal of a company. Weight and highlight the desired result. So we have to give the weightage of our results like 4%, 30%, 20%, 3 star, 4 star, and we have to highlight the weak areas as well as the sun areas. Identify the first level measure to determine how well the results were achieved. So, in that, we have to observe what is our upper level observations. Now, we have to identify the standards for how well the results are achieved. Without this framework, a performance evaluation can be a failure. We are only wasting our time. We are not concluding anything from that, and it takes time and practice to successfully implement this framework. How to prepare? We have to be clear about how performance reviews are ongoing, schedule regular one to one throughout the process. If we are observing the performance of a person, so we have to go one to one with that person. Keep track of progress and encourage a strong sense of trust. We have to do the work in the environment in which each person can trust us. If he or she is facing any problem, he can discuss that problem with the manager. Use your agenda to indicate the points you will be discussing. So we have to mention the point before the meeting, and so we can manage over time to discuss these points. Apply learning for the future just as much as you focus on the past. We are not only discussing that we are done 50% in the past. We also have to discuss, we have to go at the 75 in the future. So we have only not discussing the failure, we are also discussing how we can overcome that failure. We have to encourage our team workers to come prepared with their thoughts on each point on the agenda. We can share that agenda with our team members, and according to that issues or that problem, they can think the solution, and everyone can give the idea. Now, how we can plan a chart for reviewing an information system? First thing is that we have to do the written communication. We are passing the agenda to different persons, or we are sharing the work plan to our supervisors and our team members. Secondly, when we have given the agenda or points to the team as well as to the supervisors, now we are going towards the oral communication in which we are discussing the points that we have planned in the written communication. After oral communication, also we make a plan. A written communication will be done. A 6 month plan is agreed upon, and a copy is given to the each party. So that must be our criteria or a framework. How we can prepare the effective review? The review must be on the regular basis. If we are not reviewing our system on 2 years or 3 years, it can rise over issues, or it can increase the issues that we are facing. So, in the interest of providing regular feedback, performance reviews are not an annual event. We have to do it on weekly basis or on the monthly basis. Quarterly meeting are recommended with the team members and customers. In one mind, mid-set project planning and evaluation occurs twice in the project development cycle. So we have to check how much time is required to complete a project. In that time period, we have to set different review meetings when we are developing our project. Evaluation of each module is also scheduled twice, so the management can discuss effectiveness of each module. Like we are not working as a whole on a project, we have divided over project into the module, And when we are working on a single module, at the start, in the mid, and after ending that module, we have to discuss the performance of our module. So we have to set schedule it twice when we are developing the module of our project. Now, goal setting is an essential component. We have to set the goal. As I have given the example, the performance is 50%. Now we have to set the goal. We have to improve our performance up to 75%. That is our goal. So that is much important to set the goal. So we have to try to, or we have to set the steps through which we can achieve that goal. The first thing is that we have to set our goal. So it is imperative that the features of individual module must be known exactly what is expected from each module. So we have to set the goal for individual module. Your periodic discussions about the performance of project need to focus on the results obtained and expected results. So we have to match either that mentioned results match with the achieved results or not. As we know, a teamwork is a basic requirement in achieving any goal. So we have to check the performance of individual as well as our team performance must be reviewed. Sharing performance review format. So we have to tell each and every person in which way we are going to review the performance of that person or that module. So make sure that you also share the performance review format with the member so that he or she not surprised at the end of the performance review time period. He or she must know what is the criteria, what is the goal, and how his or her performance will be measured. A significant component of this evaluation discussion is to share with the members how organization will access the performance of information system. Each member needs to understand if he or she does what is expected, they will be able to develop effective review regarding to the information system. Make how you will evaluate performance clear. So we have to clarify each and everything during the preparation and goal setting. You need to make how you will evaluate the performance clear. Describe exactly what you are looking for from the system and exactly how you will measure its performance. As in the previous slide, we have discussed, we have to set the framework and then we have to discuss that framework to our team members. So we make it clear with all the members, either they had understand all our evaluation criteria or not. Discuss with with the member his or her role in the development process. We have assigned the responsibility and we have to tell them how important his or her performance is in that goal or in that project. If your organization's performance review process include and member self-testing, share the form and talk about what the self-testing demands. So we can sometimes we can give a free hand how they can judge her or himself by themselves. So we can give them the form and they can check their performance by their own. Whenever we are conducting the meeting after a discussion, we have to document each and everything. So discussion in the meeting involves positive and negative aspects of the system. Recent events color your judgment of the system's performance. Like if it is going towards goal, we can color it green, or if we are going toward the failure, we can color it to the red. So you are responsible for documenting positive occurrences such as completed tasks and negative areas such as missed deadlines are the features. So we can choose different colors for success points and missed points. During the entire period of the time that the performance review covers, you need to make these notes throughout the cycle to assess the performance fairly. Feedback from colleagues who have worked closely with one another, as the manager is not involved to any person, so we can collect the feedback from the colleagues who are working more with each other. So sometimes it is called the 360-degree feedback because you are obtaining feedback from the team leader, co-workers, and any reporting staff. So we are covering each and every degree or each and every angle. So we are seeing that that is 3-degree feedback. You use the feedback to broaden the performance information that you provide for the system. As A single person cannot judge the each and every person, so we can collect the feedback from different teams or from different corners. Start with the informal discussion to obtain the feedback. We are not only making it professional, we can discuss their problems, or we can formally discuss the whether or other things. Informally we can start our discussion, and then we will go toward our professional things. Consider developing a format so that the feedback is easy to share with the manager. So we have to set how each and every person is setting a feedback criteria. If your company uses a form that you fill out in advance of the meeting, give the performance review to the team workers in advance of the meeting. So we have to give that form in the advance so we can utilize our time in discussing these. This allow the team workers to understand the contents before discussion of the details with the manager. So they can easily discuss the things to understand that things in a better way. This simple thing can remove a lot of conflicts from the performance review meeting. We have to prepare ourselves for that discussion. Like we have to fill the form, we have to think about the ideas, we have to think about the agenda on which we are going to talk. So we have to prepare for the discussion with the team workers. Never go into a performance review without preparation. If you wing it, performance reviews fails. You will miss key opportunities for feedback and improvement, and the team workers will not feel encouraged about the success. So we have to prepare ourselves according to each and every criteria. The documentation that you have maintained during the performance review period serves you well. We have to go through that document, and then we have to think about the points that we are going to discuss in the meeting. So we can make a list of that points by reviewing that document. We have to practice the approaches with the management. If needed, practice approaches with your human resource staff, co-workers, and your manager. Which approach you are using, we have to discuss or practice that performance with our management. Title notes with the main points for the feedback include bullet are points that clearly illustrate the point you plan to make. The more you can identify the patterns and give examples, the better the team workers will understand and be able to act upon according to the feedback. We have to discuss each and everything with the team, and that can be only done by doing arranging the meetings. So spend time on positive aspects. When we are arranging the meeting, we are not only discussing the negative points, we will start our meetings with the positive points. In most cases, the discussion of the positive components of the performance should take up more time than of the negative components. So discuss how the team members can continue to grow. The performance should comprise the majority of the discussion. So we have to discuss with each and every person how we can improve the performance, or what are our positive points and how we can continue with these positive points. The member will find this rewarding and motivating. We can motivate our team members by doing this. If your intentions are genuine to help the team worker and you have a positive relationship with the team worker, the conversation will be more easy and effective. They will trust you and they can share their problems with you. The team members have to trust the management, want to help them to improve the performance. We are not only, or the management is not only pointing them or discouraging them or highlighting their negative points. They must trust that the team, all team members must trust the management. They are trying to help them. The team member needs to hear management say that you are confidence, or you have confidence in their ability to improve. So the conversation is a keyword during the performance review meeting. Without conversation, the meeting becomes a lecture. The performance review is less effective. So we have to discuss each and everything, and that meeting must be two-way meeting. We are not only speaking and speaking. We have to focus on the listening. Manager must have to focus on the listening to the team members. Ask questions to make the meeting motivational. As I told you, we are not only focused on the speaking and speaking. We have to ask different things or different ideas from the team members. So you can encourage conversation by asking the questions such as, what do you expect to be the most challenging about the goals? What support can the team workers provide that will help you to reach these goals? What are your hopes, achievements at company's new system? So we have to ask the questions like, how often would you like to receive the feedback? What kind of schedule can we set up so that you can not feel or you do not feel micromanaged. What would be the helpful agenda for our weekly or 101 meeting? So we have to discuss the schedule with them. What are the characteristics of a performance review? A good performance measurement system should have the following characteristics. It should be based on the activities over which managers have control or influence. It should be measurable, like we have to measure the performance 40%, 50%. It should be timely. We have to set the criteria like after 1 week, after 1 month, and that must be on time. It should be consistent in its application, like we have to check either it is going helping you out or not. When the appropriate, the actual result should be compared with the budgeted results, standard or past performance, so we can compare over performance. The measurement must not be favor the manager over the goal of the entire organization. Often managers have the ability to make the decisions that favor their individual unit, but they may be determined to the overall performance of the organization. We are not only thinking about our single unit of the team or a single employee or over a single project. We have to see the full picture of our organization. So we are not giving favor to any manager or any team member or a single unit of organization. We have to all the things must make it possible to improve the overall performance of the organization. Performance evaluation should measure progress and help organization to set the goals. Explain the whole process towards the goal. So we have to list down all the steps how we can achieve that goal after setting the goals. Clarify expectations from the system, what we are expecting from that system. We have to clarify that, review and update team skills, and determine whether the training is required or not. Review the accomplishment and the goals. So we have to check each and everything. What are the models to measure over performance? Effectiveness was measured as project. An example was number of tests completed, number of tests planned. Like we have planned that we will do the 100 tests and we have done only the 99 or 80 tests. So we have to test the effectiveness according to the plan tested by its number of tested that we have completed. So we have completed, and with the actual plan we have to measure the performance effectiveness of our system. Quantity was measured as the process or product unit or sources of cost. So quantity will be measured like the internal test run facilitates management cost. So we have to check the unit cost, or we have to set the tested items with the total cost. So quality was measured as the indicators of the error or loss process or the product unit. So we have to check the quality, either we have completed the 100 items or we have produced the 100 items, and how much give the error. So according to that we can check the quality, like we are making the mistakes in the work package issued or work package issued in total. So number of total things and how much are the defaulted piece. So we have to check, we have to divide these, and then we can check the quality of the system. Change was measured as the information provided by the indexes that are developed by tracking the some performance measures over time. So how much time is required for the changing? So an example would be improvements like reduction by X% in downtime of facilities, test accomplished or attempt are. So how much the time downtime was that, or how much the increased time according to our pro current clerk. So we have to check the change according to that. Now, what are the benefits of performance review? There are a lot of benefits of reviewing our performance, as it will lead us towards the goal. If we are not reviewing the issues and the performance, we can go towards the failure, and we cannot rectify our mistakes if we are doing anyone. So it will improve the overall performance. One of the clearest benefit of regular review is the opportunity to improve overall performance of our system, because we can overcome our weakness after the judgment of our weak points, taking the time to analyze the work produced by our system over the last year and any period to wish to review. So we can review, or we can see what was the past performance, what is our current performance, and what we are assuming or we are expecting in the future. It gives the perfect opportunity to find the areas that need attention, which are our weak areas. We can analyze the problem and find the solutions when it is possible. The next, it will increase the members engagement. We are giving the individual review, team reviews, and as well as the project review, so it will help all of them to improve their performance as well as to make their self engaged in the goal. So regular feedback can increase the engagement, which can pay dividends for our company. Companies consistently are constantly need new ideas all the time. Engaged members are a lot of closer to best ideas, and their ideas lead to the better decisions. When we judge what are our weak points, and we have given that agenda to each member of our organization, they can think the idea about the improvements, and then they can share their ideas in the meeting. So team members will gain greater understanding and how their position contribute to the goal of the system, and likely become more invested in the outcome. So we are focusing each and every person, and we are encouraging them and telling them how they are important in the performance of a company or an organization. So that can lead towards the success. It will identify the opportunities when there are a lot of minds working on a single point, working together. So it will increase the opportunities when we are working on the solutions. So reviewing the performance regularly ensures that you know the strength and weakness of our information system, and we can focus on the weak areas to avail the maximum opportunities. We can overview the layout through which we can overcome our weak areas. Where there is need of training, and the persons are feeling um, difficulties, we can make training sessions for them, and we can improve their performance. So whether you adopt a new system or implement a different strategy, your staff members will likely need additional instructions at new points during the development. We need to let our strategy dictate the matrices we adopt, and we have got to focus on the data that we need and not on the data that we don't need. So we can focus on the training as well as other things that need attentions. It will clarify the when we have make a determination about the goal, and we have listed down that how we can achieve these goals, we can define our paths towards our goal. So we can say that it will provide the paths for the effective way towards a goal, boost motivation, and significantly reduce the failure. It will help in decision making, and where the training is needed, where guideline is needed, where we have to take or we have to change the criteria or we have to change the methodology, so we can take the decisions according to our scenario. So during the review we are recording each and every detail in a document, so end of every step management has data to make decisions about the growth and effectiveness of the system. We can identify the errors as we know the weak areas, and we have analyzed what are the issues inside the what are the weak areas and how we can overcome these areas, what are the issues behind over failure. So we can detect the errors as well as we can overcome or we can improve the errors or we can remove these errors. So during the review we are recording all the detail in the document, so we can test the results. Either the results are according to desire or our system is not doing well. At the end of each step, we can identify the error, and before going to the next step, we can remove that error. Now that was the benefits of reviewing over information system. What are the limitations of reviewing the evaluation of our information system? The major limitations are performance evaluation are very time consuming. It took a lot of time. We can give that time to the new project, but it is necessary, so we are giving the time. But that is the limitation of our evaluation. It took a lot of time. Sometimes a strict review may affect the results when different departments in the same companies use different methods of review. So sometimes the reports does not match, and it will give leads us towards the conflicts, and we cannot judge how we can improve our performance. So sometimes it will affect the results. So the criteria for performance review, let's specify, we have to specify each and everything. Generally we are not discussing, we are specifying our goal, we are specifying our step, we are specifying our methodology. So we have to specify each and everything. We have to specify how many tasks were done per month, the time period per task that must be achieved, the percentage increase towards the goal from the month to another, measure the results, either they are desirable or leading us far from the goal. So we have to specify each and everything. So we can say that we have to make a document. Quality, we have to check, or we have to go towards the, not the quantity, we have to go towards the quality of the work. Quality of the work is an umbrella category that may encompass aspects such as productivity, user friendliness. So we can determine the quality by gathering the feedback from the user. Either they are satisfied or and they are not satisfied. We can conduct a market survey to know how your system is more useful than the others. Either our system is user friendly or not, or our customer is satisfied, our customers can easily use our services or not. So it may also include the details on the targets to be achieved in the future. If our system is not user friendly, we have to change our features according to that, and that must be according to the easiness of our customer. So we have to make the changes according to the user, and we have to set the criterias, or we have to set our goals for the future. When evaluating the quality, think both the big picture and the small details, such as how much of the company target has achieved and where the system is not doing well or needs the improvement. So we have to see both things. Productivity, how much productive we are. The level of productivity evaluation criteria is important because it looks at the output over a specific period of time. Like in 1 month, how much we have make products, or which services we have given, we have attained how much users are new customers. So we have to check the productivity according to some specific time. For your business to be successful, you need an efficient and productive team that's fast and agile. So keep the quality of work in mind when reviewing the productivity, because it does not matter how fast system works if the work needs to be redone again and again. So we are not only talking about the quantity, we are talking about the quality of the work. Establishing performance standards, we have to set the standard, like our performance must be up to 80%, or we have to attain 90% results. So we have to set the standards. In this process, the performance review is setting up of the standards which will be used to as the base to compare the actual performance of the system. This step requires setting the criteria to judge the performance of the system successful or the not successful. If our system is performing below 50%, we can say that that is not a successful system. And it the system is working above the 80%, we can say that that is successful system. So we have to set a criteria, and according to that criteria, we have to judge the performance of our system. The standard set should be clear, easily understandable, and in the measurable terms. Like as I have given the example, that will be in percentage, that can be in stars form, or any other way in which we can measure the performance. Matching the actual with the desired performance. Like our actual performance is 70% and our desired performance was 80%. So we have to match both these. The actual performance is matched with the desired or the standard performance. The comparison tells the deviation in the performance of the system from the standard set. We have far away 20%, 10%, 3%, 5%. How much we are lagging behind. The results can show the actual performance being more than the desired performance, or the actual performance being less than the desired performance, illustrating a negative deviation in the organizational performance. If it is our set criteria is 80%, but our system is giving the 50% performance, so we can say that that is a negative performance of our system. Discussing the results, we have to discuss our results with our team, and we have to take suggestions from our team, and we have to set the goals, or we have to mention by doing these things, or by these adopting these steps, we can improve our performance. The focus of this discussion is on communication and listening. We are not only speaking, we have to listen over companions, over colleagues, over management, over employees, over team. The results, the problem, and the possible solutions are discussed with the aim of problem solving. We Our aim must be we have to solve the problem. The feedback should be given with the positive attitude, as this can have an effect on the system future performance. The purpose of meeting the should be solve the problem faced and motivate the team to perform more better than the previous performance. We have to focus on the teamwork. If we are not working as a team, it will be difficult for organization to do any work. So developing a system is a teamwork. Everyone has to do his or her work. Manager review the work on each end and make it sure that all members are working as a team. No one is doing the less work, no one is doing the more work. Everyone is fulfilling his or her responsibilities. If someone is feeling any difficulty, the manager have to provide the guidelines and sometimes the trainings. Sometimes our system face the failure due to the negligence of some members. Some members are working and some members are not working, so we can go towards the failure. Problem solving. Over every system has the problem, but our attitude must be like we are willing to solve our problems. Our system must solve all the problems that was listed in the document. If the problem is not solved at the end, we have to rectify the process to achieve the goal. We have to change the steps that we have followed. Decision making, the last step of process is to take decisions. We have to take the decisions. Either we have to change the methodology, either we have to set the training, or we have to give the guidelines, we have to increase the manpower, we have to go towards the machine. So for each and every step we have to take the decisions. So the last step we have of the process, we have to take decisions which can be taken either to improvement of the performance of the system, and that take the required corrective actions are related decisions. Like I have told you that we can improve our performance, we can improve our technology, we can improve our manpower. Now we are concluding our lecture is that evaluation of the system is one of the most universal practice of the management. Everyone is going through the evaluation of the system. It is applied formally or informally to all the functions, routines, or the systems. If we are not evaluating the performance, we cannot judge the challenge, we cannot judge the errors, we cannot judge over negative areas as well as over positive areas. Most organizations have some standards of the performance evaluation. Organizations require consistent and constant levels of high performance from their team in order to survive in the highly competitive environment. If we are not setting our standards, we cannot compete to the market. Performance evaluation is the step where the management finds out how effective system is. If problems are identified, steps are taken to communicate with the team members to fix them. As I told you, every system has different type of errors, so we have to take the steps how we can sort out these errors. Is there any issue in the lecture?
No, miss, I had a question regarding like you said, strict evaluation isn't a good thing.
Okay.
Like, can you explain it?
Like if we are not evaluating where we are lying, we are at the positive side or we are at the negative side, how we can set the future goals. So it is good for us to evaluate the performance of our system, performance of our organization, and performance of our team. If we are not going towards the evaluation, or we are not judging the performance of our team as well as our organization, we cannot check how we can improve our performance. So we have to make the evaluation on annually basis or on the monthly basis. Anything else?
No, miss, it's clear now.
Okay. Then have a nice day. Take care. Allah Hafiz.